Even though we hear it, even though maybe we share that information, but until you see it yourself, how dangerous it is and how vulnerable kids make themselves on their social media accounts, they basically make it as easy as it can possibly be for a predator to lure them in and to groom them, because they give them all the information they need about themselves, all their desires, all their wants, and they put it all out there on social media.
Traffickers prey on people who are vulnerable, and they're remarkably good at hooking people quickly. And they oftentimes the victim is led to believe that this is their boyfriend, or at the very least a friend, and before long they find out that they've been trapped.
The internet is huge. We've run operations where pimps have actually contacted us, not knowing obviously it's us, but contacting the girls and saying, hey, come and work for me, kind of thing. When we ran an operation earlier this year, we arrested a pimp's girl, and he immediately started hitting everybody up, including 2 of our undercover officers who were online, and said, hey, one of my girls got arrested. Can you help me out? Can you be with me? I'll give you, out of $200, I'll give you 150 of it, kind of thing. I need to make some money. So they not only contact other girls that are working for somebody or working independently, but the social media is huge. Like I said, with the 14 to the 18-year-old range, how many girls and guys are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. And it's super scary, these apps that are coming out nowadays, where they have unlimited access to all your pictures and everything that you do. Snapchat now even has an app, or part of the app, where, you can look at a map and see, okay, well, who's on Snapchat within a mile range of me? So, okay, they'll just hit them up, and if it's a girl at the mall, or if it's a girl that just fought with her parents, if a girl that's a runaway and they need a house to stay in, that's an easy target for those guys.
We don't realize how serious the social media is in regards to the grooming process of these predators.
They're schmoozers, that's probably the majority of them on the onset. Because obviously if you meet somebody first and you beat them up and throw them in your car, well, that doesn't do you any good. You want to gain their trust. You want to get them to like you. Maybe, hey, now we're boyfriend, girlfriend. And the next thing you know, it turns the corner to, hey, remember those gifts I bought you? Remember that food I bought you? Now you're staying in my house. Okay, well, you're going to have to do some work for it, and you're going to have to sleep with somebody, or 2, 3, 4 guys. And then the ball keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's all done, or almost all done, through the internet now, through social media type pages, and it's very mobile. The traffickers know to keep their victims moving from one place to another. Don't ever develop connections. Don't let them start to trust anyone or develop a relationship with anyone, because that's all dangerous to the trafficker's operation.
One of the vulnerabilities that pimps and traffickers look for is what does this child believe they are worth? And if they believe that they're worth nothing, that's a huge vulnerability.
There's a runaway and a throwaway. So a runaway is basically a young girl or male guy who went away from his house, whether it be he got in a fight with his mom or dad or step parents or whatever the case may be, foster parents, and he or she just ran away for a little while, and the next thing you know, they got caught up in it. A throwaway is they've just been thrown out of the house. Parents aren't looking for them. They don't care. They haven't called the police, haven't notified anybody that they're a runaway. They just, if they show up, they show up. So we see a lot of the girls getting, and the guys too, we've had a couple here in Brown County, but we see a lot of them starting at that age. The youngest victim that we've had in the state of Wisconsin, I think, has been 12 years old. So it's but they're vulnerable. They don't know, they don't have the skills to take care of themselves out on the street at 12 to 14, and that's where these guys swoop in and just pick them up, is because they're down on their luck, they need something, and this guy is gonna provide that something, and next thing you know, you're tied in with this group.
Sometimes the trafficked person is addicted to drugs and struggling with that, and this person becomes a source. Sometimes the drugs are introduced after the trafficker ensnares them but we find that's often a tight connection. That's been one of the things we've been doing at the Department of Justice, is trying to make the connection between the narcotics investigations and human trafficking, and hoping that we're going to be able to make our way into some of the victims through that route.
Drugs are everywhere, and drugs are hand in hand with what goes on with sex trafficking. And we can't just focus on one, we have to focus on both of them if we're going to affect any change.
If you're dealing drugs, you're dealing girls, and vice versa. The thing with dealing girls, or pimping them out per se, is I can sell a bag of heroin one time to that person.